Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Gospel of Two Wheels. I love you guys. I love you so much. It's great to see you, Weeby and Dave Kessler. What is happening? Obviously, there's 13 of you guys on here. That's a whole bunch for before 7:30. Great to see you guys. It's another wonderful day in Colorado. It's going to be like 82 degrees, so a little bit warm, but 'tis the season. Michael Steven, what's up? Welcome to the Gospel of Two Wheels, guys, where the coffee's hot, the bikes are fast, and your comments, hopefully, are incredibly ridiculous. A dude named Eric, what is up? Dirt bikes are life, 100%. Weather report, conditions report for the Montrose area is dry and dusty, sadly. But we did get a little rain recently, which is a good thing. It wasn't a ton. Was at the dust race. Oh, Michael, yeah, you were at the dust. Dude, it was the dust during that race was absolutely out of control. Ed Dugan, what's happening? MX Reaper, Bruce Kennedy, Keith McQueen, Paul Anstey, what's happening? Hey, there's my mom. Everybody say hi to my mom. Rick Roman, what's happening? Ribs are smoking, Rick. That's awesome. I'm guessing you're on a 4-day week, maybe, and this is the entrance into the weekend. That would be awesome. Mike Cole, what's happening, man? Thank you for saying that. Mike says he really enjoyed my faith-based post this week. Everything really does happen for a reason. I completely 100% agree. Travis E from Ohio, how you doing, man? Dirk, what's happening, dude? Here you are. And thank you for the congratulations on the race. I figure this episode of the Gospel Two Wheels, we can talk about the race and the race weekend. It was out of control. Mike Webster, what's going down? So this last weekend, if you guys don't already know, we raced the Weeby Hare Scrambles Natarita round number 1 for the season in Natarita, Colorado. If you don't know where Natarita is, don't feel bad because it's tiny. It's on the west end, we call it, over west of here, between here and Utah. It's about 30 miles from Utah. And it's a tiny little sleepy little town that used to be a lot more bustling because there's a uranium mine over there, but that's all shut down now. So there's not much going on over there, except that there are some families with some huge ranches still. And the Reams family, thank you, Reams family, if you ever see this, they basically let Weeby have complete and total control over a huge chunk of their land to put on a race. And they did a great job. Weeby did a great job. There was quite a few entries. I don't know what the total number was. I'd say it's probably between 200 and 300 if you include the kids. Jimmy Neihart, what's happening? I saw you got that moose in there. Good job. Dave from Quebec, how's it going, man? And Dave Kessler says, who's going to win the opener for motocross season? That is a good question, and actually, I don't even know. I haven't been paying attention to the outdoor boys too much. Chris Cooley, what's happening? The Natarita race was super cool and super crazy at the same time. We got over there, the family and I got over there Saturday morning, got set up, and we had practice, and practice was like nuts, man. I honestly wasn't 100% sure I even wanted to do it because it was so dusty and so crazy and so soft and so loose. And part of that's because where we were riding, they don't have trails there that other people ride because since it's private property, no one really rides there except for this one time a year. So nothing gets beat in real well. Shane McNabb, what's happening? So it's just soft, right? And then there's been no rain recently. So practice was ridiculous, but I was like, yeah, whatever. Team race was that afternoon, and Andrew Neal, who is not with us, I'm sure, right now because he's working, but we'll be watching this later. Thanks, Andrew, so much. Andrew put in a ridiculously good start. He got beat by one guy, Eric Roten, who's a pro, but he's racing the A class because he's racing with his girlfriend, fiance, who's more like a C rider. So that equals A. And anyway, whatever. So he beat Andrew for the first lap. But fortunately, he beat him by so much that there really wasn't any dust for him. But the good thing is he gave the bike to his girlfriend. Andrew gave me the scrunchie. We didn't change bikes. But then took off. I was able to pass her and got out. MX Reaper, have a good day at school. Mike Klinger, WhatsApp, and thank you. So I was able to get around her, get out front, and then have clean air really the whole rest of the race, both of us. And Andrew was putting in like minute faster lap times than I was, which is awesome. He's racing the B class. He's sandbagging the B class. He's younger than I am, but he's super fast, and so we're making him move up. But by the way, so it was awesome. We just had ripping great race. We won the A class in the team race handily. It was awesome. It was super fun. And then we camped out in the van for the first time as a whole family, all four of us, and that was awesome. Mike Foster, what's happening? And Jimmy, the team race was a ton of fun. Like, hey, Ryan Lukey, what's happening? Good morning, Aaron, Jeremy Schoening. So yeah, the team race is super fun. It's really relaxed. Like, I mean, yeah, we're trying to go fast, but you just do one lap, per person. And so they make you have to do just one lap. Like at the Gold Rush and some other team races, you can kind of do however many laps at a time you want, and then you trade off. But this one was you have to do trade off every lap, and it's great. It's super fun. Kim Jackson, Michael, what's happening? Nick Robinson, what's going down? So yeah, we had a great race. We camped out in the van. We had that worked out really well. We got a few more tweaks to do to the van and stuff to bring to make it really awesome, but super good. Oh, there we go. So Dude Eric says, what do you mean by I must have forgotten to set my alarm? What are you talking about? The Dave Kessler. The Brady. Yeah, so Ewan's bike, it's getting a complete and total motor. I've got a crank, piston, and new cylinder coming. That stupid Kickstarter doesn't exist. Like, that's whatever. That's been ordered now for a long time. So he's just gonna have to deal with it. And Dave Kessler, he needs a bigger bike. No, we tried that after his bike broke. Tony Andrews, what's happening? And Brady, I can't get a starter. So after his bike broke and he went back to the thing, I took him to the up to the pit, and I asked him if he wanted to just take my bike for my 125 for his last lap and just finish it. And he couldn't even think about sitting on that. Like, there's no way. I mean, he could ride it, like, but if he ever had to stop or do anything, done. And yeah, he always does get the short straw. Although he is the only of the two children to end up with. He got a brand new KX65. So don't feel that bad for him. Let's see. And he does, he's the youngest, whatever. That's part of the deal. That's how it was for me too. I got all the hand-me-downs. I think we all of us know. And Brady, if you can find one, that would be awesome. I would love it because I can't seem to find one. And Nick, so he's too big for an 85. He needs a big wheel. So the KX100 is that, or a 105 KTM, which you can't buy either. Brady says, I'm surprised he doesn't hate dirt bikes like me. He freaking loves them. And unfortunately, like I said, that 100 has been awesome. Dave Kessler, even a CR 230. I don't think so, dude. Dave, you got to come ride with him. That 230 would not work. It's probably 50 pounds heavier than that KX100. It does have full-size wheels, but it's super, super heavy and super, super slow. And the kid likes to go fast. So the 100 is the way to go. It's just, unfortunately, whatever. And Roger, the clutch, I also back ordered. I'm like doing my best. So when I get the thing apart, I'm going to see what I can do about getting, whatever I can do to make that all better. The Dave Kessler, that's exactly right. It's because he rides 4 strokes. And that's another thing. He would have nothing to do with the 230 because it's a 4-stroke. But so speaking of all this and the kids and whatever, so we Sunday morning we got up early, kids got ready. And Roger, he has another O2YZ in Cali. Let's back up. So Ewan is getting that YZ125 that we're building for a shootout bike. That's his bike now. Robbie Noyles, thank you so much. He has given that to us. So Ewan's getting a freaking sweet motorcycle as soon as he can ride it. He's just too small. Like, he can't start the thing. I've tried, whatever. He can't get it. He's I know it's funny. It's a weird age, size, whatever. So, but yeah. So, the Kim Jackson. No, I don't need a donor. I just need a Kickstarter is what I need, because I have all the parts for that motor. By the time we go to Sodak, his motor is going to be brand new. New crank, new bearings, new piston, brand new cylinder, everything. Bruce Kennedy. Yes, I think all years fit. And I need a new one where at least like very low hours, because his just goes back too far. So when he kicks it, his foot slides off. So the let's see, real fast. Michael Steven, can you recommend a technical intermediate trail for me? I'm from East Coast and have only ridden the hills in Peach Valley. Is Dry Creek okay, or Lower Spring Creek maybe? So Michael, I would highly recommend Lower Spring Creek. It's amazing. Also, if you're out at Peach, I really like Sunset Rocks for that, an intermediate techie trail. I also consider Eagle Valley to be intermediate. It's really not that hard. It's kind of intimidating. But yeah. So see, Jimmy Nyhart, what do you do with the valve stem hole when mooses are installed? I just leave it. Some guys put like a plug in it that, and Roger duct tape. Some guys put a hole, like you can buy the little plugs that come in some bike. Anyway, I don't worry about it, because I tape the inside of it with the nitro tape so I tape the inside really good, and then I put the moose on, and that helps, but I just don't worry about it. I change tires so often that I don't care about dirt and dust getting in there, because it doesn't stay in there very long. But yeah, Brady and Roger put tape over it. That's one thing you can and Bruce Kennedy, sadly, I do not have a welder, but unfortunately, and it's like this cast thing, which is probably, I'm sure whatever can weld it up. The thing is, I ordered the dumb thing and I really expected it to show up, because it was like no big deal. It should have been no big deal for that thing to be there. But that's one of the COVID things. Anyway, it's super annoying. So Travis Morgan, what's your opinion on the Chinese knockoff carbs? Don't do it. Don't do it. What? No, Red Rocks Night Horse seems intermediate. Bryce, Red Rocks Night Horse in one direction is upper intermediate. The other direction is not. Oh yeah, Mike Cleaner, old inner tube valve stem works good. That he's talking about where the bibs, so when you put mooses in tires, you got that extra valve stem hole. That works good. Bruce, I would send it to you, except for that I got to get this thing together and I don't have time. I'd rather have it be like it is than, like, I don't know, not have it in time, because I got to get this thing together quick. But And I'm also still hopeful that the other one's going to show up. And it works. It's just, I mean, it's super annoying for him. But I think once we get the motor rebuilt, the thing's going to start better anyway. And then hopefully the clutch situation gets, fixed too. But also maybe, I mean, what I haven't done is looked on eBay for a newish one, but I keep expecting the brand new one to show up and it hasn't yet. So, but yeah, anyway, but I just want to let you guys know, Brady, it's annoying for me. Oh, it's awesome. That just understand, and I know you guys are all just giving me a hard time, and it's awesome. The kid still loves riding motorcycles. He's bummed out that his bike broke, but whatever. It happens. I honestly think it's a good lesson. For in life, like, because I look at all these kids on these start lines with brand spanking new motorcycles, and yeah, I could do that. I mean, it would be, I could sell some motorcycles. I could buy him a brand spanking new one, although right now that would be impossible. But I could get him a brand new bike, but I just don't think kids deserve brand new bikes. And no matter how good a kid he is, no matter how fast he is, none of that stuff, I think they got to work for it. He's helped me work on that bike. He helped me put a piston in his 65. He wants to help me rebuild this motor. I mean, he's excited about helping me put a crank in this thing. So I think it's awesome to have a bike that's not totally perfect. And then, if you look at my son, Thomas, let's go to his race. We're talking about racing. Barnado, what's happening? He's on an 02 YZ 144. Hands down the oldest bike on his line. He raced the 250C class. First time he's just in big bikes with no age class. Mike Barnado, how was the horn? Sadly, I broke the horn almost immediately. I didn't hit anything. I didn't crash, but I brushed a tree and it grabbed the wire and pulled it out, so I didn't get to use the horn, unfortunately. Where did you find a Kickstarter? If it's a brand new one, I'm like, that's a bummer. Because I ordered mine through Cowie, so maybe that's the problem. They grow up way too fast. You will haul ass on any bike he rides. That's what I agree, Chad, 100%. And Jimmy, it is a good lesson for kids. I don't like. So hold on, back up to let's back up and from bat. Well, so yeah, that's the other thing. I was trying desperately not to pay full retail for it, but I did pay full retail for his new cylinder. So because I couldn't find that either. But back up to Thomas. On his 02, like I said, 19-year-old YZ 125, 144 from Roger. Thank you. Also a completely decked out, really, really, really nice one. He had a brilliant race. He got a great start. It took him 2 kicks to get going, which is hilarious because he was practicing and it was 1 kick, 1 kick, 1 kick. And then, of course, the flag waves and it takes 2. But I think he was still like 4th or something like that going into the first turn. Which was pretty awesome, 4th or 5th. And then he rode brilliantly. He had a great race. He tipped over a couple times and some soft stuff, but like no big deal. Like it wasn't bad. Kid ended up 5th out of 13 in the 250C and then 18th out of 83 in the whole C class. I was blown away. It was super, super awesome. And I just was, like really, really happy with how he did. He was really happy. So back to the whole old bike kid, do whatever thing. So I had someone make a comment on Facebook. There's a picture of him coming up through these rocks, and they someone said, well, you got to upgrade that kid's bike, right away. And I'm like, no. First of all, he loves that motorcycle because he's put a lot of effort and time into it. And second, he doesn't have a job. He's 14 years old. Like, he's got to learn to ride what he's got. And when he gets older and has a job and makes money, he can buy whatever he wants. And that's just how it's going to be. And honestly, like I said, Ewan, he's bummed out right now about his bike. And like he said, he doesn't get to ride tonight for Thursday night, but he is going to the Dave Kessler, what are you talking about? It's unlike Morgan to be late. I hope everything is okay. I don't know what you're talking about, Dave. So he yeah, he's going to help me rebuild it. He's going to be so invested in that bike and love it so much. It's going to mean something to him instead of just like buy things. So anyway, what, dude, why is that even a thing? Is it zombie marketing? I don't know what you're talking about, Jimmy. So let's see. Smokey the Bear. Hold on. Let me, throw me some love. I wrecked my 450 EXE, broke my shoulder blade and my collarbone, punctured, amputated my finger. As soon as I can be back on the bike, I'll be riding. Right on, dude. Smokey. That sucks. I'm super sorry that you had a huge giant wreck. That absolutely blows. Robinson Motor. It sounds like some of these people need to go race a vintage event. Drum brakes, way too much power, air cooled, 2 strokes. That'll grow them some FB credit. Yeah, absolutely, Nick Robinson, 100%. And like I said, I mean, I love the idea of new stuff, but I also like the idea of is things happen, right? And I love for everything to go well. And it broke my heart to see the kid coming off the race course after he was riding really well. But, you know, that's life, right? life hurts sometimes. And it wasn't poor maintenance. The bike, I mean, air filter's perfect. The oil's been changed all the time. It just happens, you know, like, and I mean, yeah, we probably went maybe a little too long on the top end, but you know, it's not even a year, and you know, he didn't ride all winter. So, well, he rode some in this winter, but like, so you know, whatever, it happens. Yeah, and Roger Hurd, it is the Indian and not the Arrow, 100%. My pop's motto growing up was everything I own is broke, so everything I had was broke too. Good approach. I appreciate things much more, 100%. Oh, Jimmy Neihart, needing a new bike, upgrade older bikes. People get dumb over that stuff. Yeah, Jimmy, I completely agree. 100%. Like, I see people buy all these new bikes and like I mean, whatever. If you got the money, you want to stimulate the economy, that's awesome. But I think for kids, they need to learn that things don't always go well. That's all there is to it. Things don't always go well, and life kind of sucks sometimes. So, and yeah, anyway, let's see. KTM 620 RXC. Anyone want to restore it for me? Should be ready in 120 days. Sorry, Smokey the Bear. Sadly, I don't have time for that. Let's see. Paul Anstey, will this $15,000 new dirt bike make me faster? That's awesome. And Roger Hurd, that 144 is lead desert races. I believe it. That 144 is stupid fast. It's right now like the 05 YZ 125 that we're trying to build into like the shootout bike for against the KTM. Thomas 140 is way it's faster, easier to ride. Yeah, it's a better motorcycle right now. So Uncle Sam bought the new bike, that's for sure. The Brady Metter, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hopefully I'm gonna have that motor back together before then, and I can just slap it in afterwards. Jimmy Neihart, thousands of dollars new thing around here is kids on turbo specialized e-bikes so they can pre-ride the court. That's ridiculous. Smokey DeBarrow, where are you? Because I don't know if yeah, I don't know. Ed Dugan, yeah, like yeah, the brand new bikes break all the time for sure. Brady lazy, that's funny. Bruce Kennedy, I might get a box of Kickstarters now. guy, like, thank you guys so much. Like, definitely not like reaching out and trying to get stuff. Brady, yeah, I'm super duper lazy. The just trying to keep those kids like so here's one problem with the kids' motorcycles and trying to keep them, up to snuff and perfect is that they're in school right now, so they can't help. And it's brutally busy at the shop, as you can imagine. And so prepping stuff, it's like just me and my wife. My wife likes to see me, which is awesome. But that means that I have to come home at night. I can't stay at the shop all night. And so it's kind of freaking tough to do all this stuff like this. Like getting his bike back together is going to be a heck of a thing. But whatever, it's going to be awesome because it's going to be brand new. It's going to be sweet. As a kid, my mom and dad made me pay for half a bike. Took such great care of that bike because I was paying, for a year and a half. If you have an investment in it, you take care of it. And that's exactly the thing. Like, I mean, anyway, my boys are learning good stuff, and I'm happy with it. I'm excited. But thank you, Brady, for finding that. Excuses. The at least I got him a YZ125. The kid's just not big enough for it. It's a super bummer because I really, really, really can't wait till he's on a full size bike because the kid's gonna fly. With full size wheels and all that, but he is just not even close to being able to ride one. So anyway, back to racing. So Thomas absolutely killed it. Was really stoked. Like every time he came around on his lap, he's like nodding his head, fired up, charging. It was really, really fun to watch. So then my race started, and it was awesome. Brady, that's awesome. You bought your kid a new bike so you don't have to work on it. But your kid is like you, and he doesn't ride the bike because you don't take him riding. And so you don't have to work on him if you never ride him. So, and that's the other thing. I feel like the number of hours that Ewan has gotten on that KX this year is pretty awesome. Like the kids ride all the time. So it's awesome. And I know you guys are just giving me our time, and rightfully so. Give it like the cobbler's kids are always the ones with the worst shoes. But I also think that the kids are growing up right. So I'm happy about that. So my race, I had the worst start ever. I was dead last off the line because the bike started, but I got too antsy and dumped the clutch and got on the gas a little early. I let the clutch out early, got on the gas, and almost stalled the dumb thing, and everybody left me. So then I had a ton of work to do. But by the end of the first lap, I was up in second. I was second behind my brother-in-law, who is an awesome guy and an ex Brady Metter. Yes, I would if I had to, but I have a job. That's how that works. So I had a ton of work, but after must have needed to top end. Yeah, Mike. And that's the funny thing about, let's go back to the KX100. I had a piston and gasket sitting there waiting for his bike after this race. But anyway, that's how it goes. But so, yeah, my brother-in-law is an ex-pro, so he was running away with the 40A class, and there's no way I was going to catch him. Although I did make time on him on the last two laps, which is awesome. But yeah, I ended up I was second the whole race. I didn't know that. And the thing I'm honestly most excited about was that I passed the entire 30A line that was ahead of me. I passed the last guy on the last lap in the last half mile. And it was awesome. I was super stoked. I had a brilliant ride, and it was a lot of fun. So massive thank you to Weeby Racing. It was really, really really, really fun race. Amazingly well put together considering the dust and the craziness. But thanks, Barnado. But here's something I want to talk about real fast. And I know there's a lot of things going on here. Sorry, I've missed everything. Anyway, sweep those four T's, take off like rockets. Actually, my brother-in-law was on a YC250, which is awesome. And so here's something that happened in the race, and I want to talk about just a little bit because I think it's important. And sorry if I've missed any questions. And Smokey the Bear, I'm in Montrose, Colorado, so there's sadly no way I can help you out with your bike. I would love to, but maybe someone over there can. That'd be pretty cool. But this is about safety in racing. So a kid got really, really hurt. Bruce Kennedy, I actually wanted to race with the chainsaw. Someday I might do that. So real quick, Ed Dugan, you have asked that and I forgot to answer. Next race is Monticello, Utah, next Weeby round. And we're going to be there June 12th, I think. So, so a kid got really, 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 really hurt during this race. There was a huge ravine that we dropped down into and went up, and it was not marked well, in my opinion. It was marked okay, but and let me start this with, I am not placing any blame on anyone, not on Weeby, not on it, nothing, right? Like, so that is no blame, and I understand that motorcycle racing is dangerous, but having raced the National Hare and Hound series and raced the Weeby series this year, I really think that the Hare and Hound's marking system is amazing. It's really, really good the way they mark those courses. It really helps with dangers and things like that. And I actually think it helps you to be able to go faster. And, you know, Weeby kind of relies on people doing able to practice to get to race, but not everybody can do practice, like timing wise or money wise. It's only another $10, so I don't blame. You know, it's $10. You're already racing a dirt bike. Pay the $10, but sometimes you can't get there in time. Yes, Brady Metter. Thank you, Caselli Foundation. The Caselli Foundation has developed an incredible way of marking courses, and I'm just blown away at how good it is. And I really want to reach out to James and Chelsea Wagner and see what I can do to help maybe implement that marking system for Weeby, because that would have saved this kid and his family a huge pile of money and a lot of heartache. He's going to be okay. But basically what happened is he was in the dust, this massive ravine, like 12, 15-foot ravine. It was big, wasn't marked except for like two little danger markers at the thing. And he's in the dust and he's pinned. He didn't get to do practice. He's pinned wide open and he went just head first into the other side of the bank. It was horrid. So helicopter flight, broken back in 3 places, collapsed lung, broken sternum, broken ribs, maybe an arm. Anyway, it's bad. He's going to be okay, but it was really, really ugly. So Jimmy, what is it? Let me just tell you what I like about it. So at a danger, if it's a big danger, which this one would have been, because the thing is you're kind of in these trees, you came out and there's a big long open section. So you could just freaking pin it. And if you're racing, that's what you're going to do. And then it was like into this big ravine. And anyway, so the way they do dangers now with the Caselli Foundation and the Hare and Hound Association is they have these bright blue exclamation point cards, and they're a blue that does not exist in the world, right? It was like, it's not, so it stands out like crazy because there's nothing on earth that is even close to that color other than like paint. And so it stands out like crazy. And when it's a big danger, before the danger, quite a ways before the danger, they put 3 exclamation points, and then a little bit closer, they put 2 exclamation points, and then at the actual danger, they put 1. So it's like brake markings on a race, like a road race course. So you can like dial it in. Brian Dugan, what's happening from Cheyenne? So it's awesome because when you see 3, first of all, the like, it's something actually dangerous, like really dangerous is coming. So okay. But it also means you can stay on the gas because you haven't seen the 2 yet. You're not there yet, right? So you can stay on the gas a little bit longer. Then you see the 2, and then you make the decision, like, are we slowing down yet or not? And then, usually even in the dust at a hare and hound, you can see the 1, and that's it. So you get on the brakes, go over. It's brilliant. It takes a lot of work, obviously, and it's subjective as to what is a big danger, whatever. Obviously, they're very conservative about what's a big danger because sometimes it's not that big, but you'd rather be safe than sorry. And it just, I feel like at the hare and hound, I felt so much safer trying to go fast, like, 6th gear, whatever, across the desert than I did at the Weeby race. I mean, it's a hare scramble. So after the first lap, you should know the place. And so it is a little bit different, but the upside is it's only a 6.5 mile loop. So it would take, a lot less cards and a lot less time and a lot less effort to do it on a 6.5 mile loop than it would on a 97 mile hare and hound. And then they mark turns like that too. It's cool. So if it's a really sharp turn, they have 3 right arrows, then 2 right arrows, and then 1 at the actual turn. So it's a really great thing. The Caselli Foundation is who came up with that and helped implement it. So I'm going to reach out to Chelsea and James and see what I can do to help make that happen. I would imagine the Caselli Foundation would help either donate or make it really inexpensive for them to get the cards that they need, because I'm sure they cost money. And so I think it would be a really good thing. I'd be, like I said, if I can help mark the course or get people out there to mark the course, whatever we can do, because I love that racing is dangerous, because I think it's important to not be safe all the time and all that, but it doesn't need to be overly dangerous. And anything we can do to give the racers all the information possible will be good. And I think that it will actually end up making for faster lap times, because I think that with those markings, I am able to go way faster than without those markings. Because without them, you're like on pins and needles the whole time, wondering what's going. So, the Smoothie Bear, that sucks, man. That is a bummer. It does sound like your wreck, and it was a bad one. So let's see. Yeah, Jimmy Neihart, it is a wonderful way to mark a course. And so here's the other thing is that if it's a small danger, then there'll be a 2 and a 1, like there won't be the 3 before it. And if it's a really small danger, like a single rock or, hiding in a bush or, whatever, there'll just be 1 danger at the actual 1 exclamation point at the thing. Brian Dugan, Ed's bike we're 1 part away from Ed's bike going back together. And that one I have searched long and hard for. I can't find it anywhere. So hopefully it's coming off. It might be coming off a back order today. Today, suggested date of back order. So that would be good. Chad, I was at St. George last month. They had some tree huggers remove the arrows the night before the race. Oh, yeah, that is horrible. That's terrible. And Jimmy Neihart, yeah, the progressive thing is really cool. Like I said, I think it actually makes it so you can go faster, because if you 3, 2, 1, that it's not there yet. Like, you're coming up on it and something to think about, but you're not there yet, so you can stay on the gas. It's a brilliant way of marking a course. Let's see. Sounds like an awesome marking system. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ed, I'm gonna really try. I got to reach out and see if I can get them into it. Again, I just want to make sure that everybody understands. Like, I am not blaming the Wagners or Weeby for any of this at all, because they have done an amazing job, and their races are great, and the races are really very safe. I think this would be the next level, which would be really cool. Smiling Instant also allows you to cut corners. It does, yeah, for sure. But the danger marker thing, I mean, even if you only did that, I think it would be good. Let's see. All right, guys, it's 8:08. I love you guys so much. I got to get to work. Despite what Brady says, I am not terribly lazy. Also, I've just had such good luck with bikes running so good, and poor Ewan. So anyway, I love you guys so much. I desperately hope that you get out and spread the gospel of two wheels. And I really hope that what we're doing here at Highland Cycles inspires you to work on, and then, maybe fix your kid's bike a little earlier than I did. But also get out and ride your dirt bikes.